Aloha, welcome to the monthly update with Queen Mabsy. Well, I am doing this update on the full moon in Taurus 2025. The full moon apexed at 13 degrees this morning at 8:19 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And I am recording this video at 1:04 a.m. on 11/6/2025 because this is when I could do it. Anyway, so I got some funky lighting and I'm going to be keeping this. I'm not going to be sharing my screen or doing anything like that this time because I am crunched for time. I got a lot going on. So first I'm going to clear us of any unpreferred energies. Clear us some 360 degrees, please. Times 3. Do across all space, time, multi dimensions. All right, are the people ready to hear what I have to say? Cool, it says yes. Awesome. I also got my energy device here waiting underneath the table to kind of keep us supercharged. Boom. Anyway, so aloha, my name is Michelle Jericho Poppler. My LLC is Queen Mabsy. And I am an Akashic astrologer, multi-medium healing artist, and creative consultant. I wear many hats. What do you need me to be today? Well, today you need me to be your astrologer. I'm going to tell you what's up, what's happening in the sky for this month. I like to do these on the full moon because that's when I feel that the new month is actually happening. At least that's my opinion. So, tonight we're walking in a cosmic slow lane. Get ready because the retrograde energies are going to get more retrograde-y because even though we have Saturn and Neptune retrograde, Mercury is going to be joining that and Jupiter too. So tonight I'm going to give you some information of major dates to watch and share a few practical things you can do to work with the energy. Now, first thing is most thing that most people like to know about is when is Mercury retrograde? Well, the next Mercury retrograde is November 9th through 29th. And this asks us to slow our thinking and check our details. We're invited to rework commitments and redo things that we might have rushed through the first time around. And you might have felt early November, this first week between the 31st of October and yesterday, the 5th full moon, November, might have felt like a cluster, and it's going to get a little bit more clustery. We have a Mars-Mercury conjunction coming up on November 12th, and a Neptune got involved in some stuff this week that caused some disillusion. The theme of this month is basically do it again, but better. Revisit, revise, repair. We're not doomed. We're being retuned, okay? Just make that your mantra. I'm not doomed. I'm being retuned. Choo, choo, choo. Flip the script. So first dates that we might have noticed that were a little funky was November 3rd through 4th. So there was a cluster of Martian energy, trine Neptune, Mars in Scorpio, and Neptune in Pisces, both at the 29th degree, the anaretic degree, the portal between one dimension to another, where we're facing all sorts of tests. There was a longing and action mixed with old programs coming up. You might have felt pulled towards something nostalgic or idealized. We had to check our motives. Was it compulsion or courage? So if all these confusion things happened for you within the first week of November, that was the Mars and Neptune energy trine, uh, challenging us, for us, to test us on those boundaries and dreams of those boundaries. What new boundaries are we dreaming up? And how do we contain those dreams? November 5th is full moon in Taurus. Was a final release moment, and we're still in the glow of releasing that. You have permission to let go of what no longer supports you materially or emotionally. How are those emotions attached to those material things? So let go of those things, those tangible things that are just weighing you down, and address, if you have emotions around letting those things go, get curious about that. On November 6th, today, November 6th, as of filming of this video, Venus goes into Scorpio. Now, Venus is in detriment in Scorpio, as it's said by astrologers, meaning that she's not the most comfortable in Scorpio. It's not her home. It's not her bag. It's like Venus in a pink dress going into a goth club, and she doesn't feel appropriately dressed, although she still looks fabulous. Everyone's like, oh, look at that pretty girl. She's so lovely. She's not, one thing doesn't fit with the other when she goes into Scorpio. Scorpio is deep and dark, so it's literally like the pink girl in the pink dress in the goth club. So, however, she kind of might enjoy it a little bit. Oh, it's different. Oh, cool. She might still get down and boogie there and kind of like figure it out. But the first like 10 degrees of Scorpio Venus is a little awkward. And then as it gets into the higher degrees, she'll get a little bit more comfortable and sexy as she feels through the vibrations and navigates through the depth of Scorpio. So if your love life or your financial life is dramatic, just use discernment and don't rush any declarations on this in this period of time. On November 7th, Uranus will retrograde back, as in it's going backwards. It's already been retrograde, mind you. So we're covering territory that we've already been with our innovations and the expected versus the unexpected. And Uranus is the planet of expect the unexpected. So as Uranus goes back into the anaretic degree, the 29th degree of Taurus, it invites us to review the upheavals we've experienced since 2018. So reflect on what shifts and sudden changes and things that you thought were once stable have been shook up at the roots. So the best tactic forward with this Uranus transit is reflecting upon those things since 2018 and seek what was stable through that time? What made it? What continued to be stable through that time? What relationships stuck with you through all the chaos that Uranus brought through and leave things better than when you found them, especially with those relationships and places and things that have stuck by you since 2018. On November 9th, Mercury will begin the retrograde in Sagittarius. It starts with big picture miscommunications. So when Mercury goes retrograde, expect to lose your keys, expect to forget appointments, expect your mind not to be as sharp unless you were born with a Mercury retrograde in your chart, in which case, if you don't know, you can book a reading with me at www.queenmabsy.com. Link will be in the show notes below, and I can help you figure out if you're neurodivergent. 9 times out of 10, you probably have a Mercury retrograde, okay? Because I am, and I do. Mercury retrograde. Every single time I've read a chart, somebody in the Mercury retrograde, neurodivergent. What's a neurodivergent? Neurodivergent is anybody with a learning difference, as in dyslexia, attention deficit disorder, autism, you name it. All those things, that the isms and the whatever, those labels they like to put on us, because we like to think outside of boxes. So if you like to think outside of the box or do things backwards, probably Mercury retrograde, or you have a bunch of other retrograde planets in your chart. So anyway, getting back to squirrel, the Mercury retrogrades. So big picture miscommunications, because Sag is huge, like galactic energy, because Sagittarius hosts the galactic center. So Mercury retrograde in this place can be quite largely confusing. So be aware of having assumptions, promises about travel, publishing, or teaching. So slow down and be very deliberate during this period of time, the Mercury retrograde. Check your work, dot your I's and cross your T's. And make sure you allow, if you're traveling, allow enough time for delays, especially since the government shutdowns and blah, blah, blah. So November 11th is the next significant date. Jupiter, jumping Jupiter, big old Jupiter, big gas giant, is still in Cancer, the sign of the home and nurturing and caring, sign of mom. Jupiter will pull the safety net back to test what your faith is made of, because Jupiter rules hope. And don't be disappointed if the things that you thought were working out around your home life, kind of have a little bit of a setback with the Jupiter retrograde. Just means to go internal and expand within, an inward expansion rather than an external expansion. Jupiter retrograde. It's a call to reconnect with the home, the family, and ancestral gifts. Like reevaluate what our DNA is made of. When I talk about inward expansion, I'm talking about going in and doing the inner healing. Because if things on the external are not working out as well as you hoped in the home, then it means Jupiter retrograde is showing you and teaching you to go within and find the answers there, because your ancestors, the Cancer energy, which is mom lineage, has some messages for you. it's a good time to call your mom too. Mhm. Hi, Mom. I know you're going to watch this. I love you. uh, so the next significant date. So just keep doing the good work that you do, even if your luck seems like it's delayed. Hold the line, hold faith that you're doing good work and that it will work out, and that uh, your intent will always work for you, even if it seems that there have been some setbacks. Okay, it's my little pep talk for the Jupiter retrograde. So on November 12th, next day, Jupiter goes retrograde. Next day, Mars will meet up Mercury. And yeah, so watch out for people being angry about details not being just so. So just check your work and your anger. Okay, words delivered in a hurry can scorch who you deliver it to. So reframe what you're going to say, be intentional, speak to be understood, not to win, speak to be understood. Because if you're understood, then it's less likely that you're going to have more conflict. If you're misunderstood, then there'll probably be conflict. November 16th, there will be an exact grand water trine. We've been having it form all month, a triangle. So it's when planets line up equally in elements. So we have water trine, which means your planets in Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, the water signs. So this is a blessed emotional flow. Trines are protective as well. They help and they contain and they flow the energy from here to there to there. It directs it. It's because it's surrounding the earth in this vibration, this harmonic vibration. So we're taking on that ancestral energy that we had from Halloween and Dia de los Muertos, that Scorpio season. Activations of that maternal ancestral support going within, as Jupiter is calling us to do. Our water in our bodies is that of our mothers, or grandmothers, or great grandmothers. The memory of our ancestors is in the water of our bodies. So with a grand water trine, it is calling up your ancestors. They are here and they are in you and around us and available if you call upon them for help. We'll call it angels or heavenly realm or whatever you want to call it. They are here for you. Protect your emotional container. So make sure your vessel, your body, is maintained, which we learned through the Virgo eclipse season, which was to take care of the vessel that holds and contains these emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. Take care of the vessel. You will be able to contain whatever feelings arise. November 18th, be aware of a retaliatory new moon during the Mercury retrograde. Intentions formed now may require revision, but they're potent. So plant seeds and be ready to tidy the details later. So just get it in there and you just trust that you've done your best. And if some people have been misunderstood, even though you've done your best with your Jupiter internal work, sometimes farmers gotta plant their seeds on certain schedules. So go ahead with those manifestations. Just make sure that you are prepared, that you know that you're going to need to do some detailed work after the fact. November 19th, this Scorpio new moon will continue. And it asks, what is dying so something truer can rise? It's deep rebirth energy. Those things that we were letting go over the Taurus new moon, the objects, the material things that we had emotional attachment to. By this point, November 19th, perhaps you might have some more clarity of why those things were stripped away so that something truer can rise. And Scorpio is also known as the phoenix rising from ashes. Put that in your basket. On November 20th, Uranus will sextile Neptune. Now that's a degree aspect where it's a harmonic. It's kind of like when the planets are getting jiggy with each other. It's a subtle collective shift towards creative spiritual insight. So keep your revolutionary impulses, but anchor them into compassion. Be a revolutionary anchored in compassion. Neptune in Pisces, compassion. Uranus is revolutionary. November 22nd, the sun enters Sagittarius. So that'll be a happy birthday, good aloha, Scorpio, and happy birthday, Sagittarius season. So this is a season of expansion. But Mercury will still be retrograde, and it asks you to expand only after you check the sky map. So glad you're here checking your map. So November 26th, the Grand Water Trine will activate with a different planetary alignment featuring Venus in Scorpio. She's moved through. She's gotten a little bit more comfortable in the goth club. She's like dancing. She's like, I'm making friends. I'm having a good time now. Lilith is here and she's like super cool and I'm having a great time. So emotional resilience and protection come together. This is like soft power. It's gentle. It's powerful in like the way a dancer commands the stage. So keep trust close to the chest and tenderness wide open. On November 27th, the planet Saturn. Oh, yeah. So going back, sorry, finish off this grand water trine. Hello. Because there's more to it than just Venus and Scorpio hanging out. We got Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces. So Saturn's a teacher, and he's like checking in with Venus in the nightclub. And he's like, oh, yeah, cool. You're having a good time. You're figuring it out, huh? And like Jupiter's in Cancer going retrograde. And yeah, I'm ready to go home. I've had enough of this. Then we'd go to this 27th. Saturn goes direct. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go out on the dance floor too. So I've reviewed everything of the last degrees of Pisces, made sure that, and I think we've finished our review, and it's time to take the test of what we've learned in the last 3 years when Saturn has been traversing through Pisces, and also what we learned over the last 30 years when Saturn has gone all the way around the zodiac. So that's what's happening for us around this time with the Saturnian energies. Stability will slowly return and lessons will reintegrate into our structure. Good, because I finally need these lessons to reintegrate into my structure. I don't know about you. On November 29th, Mercury will go direct. Huzzah! Ding dong, the witch is dead. Mercury goes direct. Woo! On November 29th. Repairs will begin to settle. Don't sign any major contracts until the exact day of the station, unless you were planning these contracts before the Mercury retrograde. Unless you must, but give it a day or two. Make sure you check the contract and proofread it and all that good stuff. On November 30th, the next significant transit will be Venus getting the heck out of Scorpio and going back into Sagittarius. Again, where's fun? Yay, I'm in a Sagittarius. I'm going out to the next club. To love and style light and move forward, we can loosen our grip on those values and kind of just relax into them at this point. So now I'm going to go into some quick little briefs for those of you each sign. So Aries, your advice: slow your spirit, redo the plan, not the person. Watch snap decisions around November 12th. Taurus, release final layers in the full moon. You're still in that window period of time of the full moon as of this video's recording and release. So stabilize, but allow transformation. Gemini, Mercury retrograde hits your house of travel and ideas. So reword, rebook, and rewrite. Cancer, Jupiter retrograde asks you to find home inside, not on the outside. Home is where your heart is. Not from external validation, Cancer. It's in here. And Leo, 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 Leo. Romance gets intense with this Venus in Scorpio. So say your needs clearly. Virgo, Mercury retrograde asks for rewrites. Your editing skills are your superpower, but you knew that already. I don't need to tell you anything. Virgos already know it all. Hey Libra, lovely Libras. Venus and Scorpio invites boundary clarity in your relationships. Oh, no people pleasing for you. It is time to reevaluate those boundaries, Libra. I know that's challenging for you, but that's your task. Scorpio, it's deep season. Scorpio, still your birthdays. Happy birthday, Scorpio. It's a new moon rebirth time. So, what wins? If you're interested in winning, radical authenticity, Scorpio. Radical authenticity wins. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Mercury retrograde in your sign asks you to reconsider your big promises. Is it true that you can do that? What's true? What is true? What is true? I don't know. Talk to me after the Mercury retrograde period, Sagittarius. Tell me what's true. Capricorn. Saturn, your ruling planet. Direct Saturn brings spiritual realignment, bones and structures of your bones. Steady, patient work pays. Steady, patient work pays. Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. I bet you're so tired of hearing that song. Uranus retrograde invites a review of social or financial inventions. Time to get innovative. Refine, but don't abandon. Refine, but do not abandon. Hear me, Aquarius. Refine, but do not abandon. Awesome. Pisces. Grand Water Trine blesses your emotional healing. Yay! Because we're so emo. Ride the flow, ride the wave, not the drama. Paddle out, get yourself in position, and catch the wave. Remember, emotions are energy in motion. It's all happening for you, not to you. So, some practical things all of you can do to help you out through these retrograde energies we have going on and the hyper emo energies we are involved in with the grand water trine. So do a check and delay ritual about 5 or 10 minutes. Now, pause before pause, like actually pause, like take a breath before replying to any emails or text messages. Read them twice at least. Delay sending for about 15 to 30 minutes to reevaluate your tone and facts. So your slogan will be pause, reread, release. Now, if you'd like a journal prompt clearing, I offer you this. What dream are you dismantling because it no longer fits? What stories about ourselves are we letting go? And what's one specific win correction that you've already made or that you plan to make based off of that? Now I'm going to take you through a brief meditation that you can do for when the Mars Mercury conjunction happens and you might feel angry, feel anger. Oh, especially if you feel hot. I'm gonna step outside, breathe in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Visualize a vessel that holds water that you can carry. Breathe in for 4 and out for 2. And hold 6. You can do that in whatever pattern you make, because you're going to be flustered. You're not going to be able to do it right. So breathe in for 4, hold for 2, and out for 6. Visualize a water vessel. Contain the emotion in the vessel. Name a boundary that you plan to keep. The vessel might become full, in which case, imagine pouring it out into the ocean. And you have an empty vessel that you can refill again when you get angry. You're welcome. So this month, now we're removing that need or addiction to panic. I know I have a problem being addicted to stress and anxiety, and most of us do. So have compassion for yourself. It's about practice, having practice care. So slow down, be intentional, correct the course with kindness to yourself and others. But you're not going to be able to be kind to anyone else unless you're kind to yourself first. So if you lack kindness for yourself and empathy for yourself, guess what? You're not really going to have like authentic empathy and kindness for others. And it doesn't have to look pretty. You can be a mess too. It's okay not to be okay. And if you would like some guidance, education through these energies this month, until the next video, the next full moon, I am available over Zoom meetings, and you can book a reading with me. If you're interested and would like a consult, just shoot me an email. If you have any questions, I happily answer an email as well off my website. I'll put that in the show notes below. And I hope that you have a beautiful month. And I'm sending all the aloha to you. And let's see, how's the crystal doing? Okay, crystal's doing good. Yep. Anyway, aloha. I love you all.